Hello, everyone. This is your Vedic astrology coach, Rajat Kapoor, and welcome to my channel, The Legit Astrologer. And today in my channel here, we have Anmol, and Anmol is the owner of Anmol Astrology. Today, we are doing a collaboration, and here we are going to talk about retrogression. We are entering into the retrogression season. As we record the video, Saturn is moving in its retrogression motion in the sign of Aquarius. And we're going to talk about how this is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs. So in case you're again new, please subscribe. We spend a few minutes on each ascendant. So, what is your thought? What do you think? If we start with Aries ascendant.
I think for Aries individuals, this could be very supportive, retrogression rather, because Saturn is right now in the 11th house. It is actually stabilizing their career or setting a base towards their career. So, in order to be recognized in their career, they have to make some significant change towards their actions and towards how they are interacting within their career. Because this Saturn going into the 11th house is also retrospecting the previous house, which is the 10th house. And
Mhm.
also they have to use their communication skills and their knowledge, their education within their career so as to be recognized. And that's because it is also activating the sign of Leo.
Yes.
And you know what? For Aries ascendant, as the ascendants, if there is young generation that is watching this, I would say there is a probability that they might also have an addition within their family. Because
Mhm.
at the same time, Jupiter is in the second and it is activating the 211 axis. And
Mhm.
also fifth house is getting activated. So there can be an opportunity of either marriage for an individual, a relationship, or even a birth of child.
Yes,
We talk
absolutely.
about, suppose, the sign of Taurus.
Mhm.
So for Taurus individuals, this particular retrogression is in the 10th house.
Mhm.
So now they need to use their ethics and morals within their
Mhm.
actions for the welfare of the society. It's a simple remedy for a Taurus individual, because for Taurus individual, actually, Saturn is their yoga karka. And
Yes.
Yoga Karka planet is going retrograde. That means that definitely it is going to give them good fruits. So that
Mhm.
it's a kind of remedy for them that they should definitely go out and work for the benefit of the society.
Mhm.
And that should be a selfless work that they need to do. And that is going to prove very beneficial for their home life, home environment. And also it can give them an opportunity of making a home because of that, of or expanding their home, or expanding, suppose, their home like space, which is like office or
Mhm.
something like that. So there's good advancement of career, but for that they have to pay a price. They have to do something for the society, or they have to also mend their image, public image. 10th house is also about public image. And when retrograde planet goes there, na, you are very conscious of your public image. So you have to take actions accordingly.
Absolutely. I mean, just to add to this, since we're talking about being retrograde in the 10th house, they
Yes.
have to look back at their dharma, right?
Yes.
That is what the ninth house represents there, Saturn being retrograde there, how they could protect their dharma, how certain decisions that they could take, which are in favor of their dharma or their belief system, okay, whoever they believe in. At the same time, one of the potential remedy for Taurus ascendants could be to declutter their home, their house space, where they
Yes.
live,
Yes.
of course, their workspace as well. So maybe about time, and this is, something which they have to look back at. One of the things which also could favor is, and that would depend on the dasha and the dasha, if
Mhm.
someone wants to make a shift, make a movement
Yes,
from
that is
home
very
to
much possible.
maybe settle outside of their home country as well.
Yeah.
This could be potentially favorable window or time, but this would depend on their dasha and antardasha that's going on.
Yes. And I think retrogression is actually the time for this, probably, and especially, I guess, towards October, November, because at the same time, Jupiter is also going to get retrograde. And
Mhm.
what happens is when these planets like Jupiter and Saturn, when they are in direct motion, they are much heavier. So
Mhm.
they somehow suppress the movement of a person, although they are going to promise with the transits, they are going to promise a movement, but with their heaviness they might suppress it. But
Mm-hmm.
only when they get retrograde, they are going to give you an opportunity to move. So I
Mm.
think that October and November are going to be very prominent for these people if they are planning to move. Either, I think most of all, it is going to be in respect of work.
Yes.
Yeah, it is possible during that time.
Yes. Certainly. Certainly.
Yes.
I mean, let's talk about Gemini ascendants here, being the eighth and the ninth lord. Saturn going retrograde in the ninth house.
Mhm.
So one thing that is inevitable is the previous house perspective, transformation, suddenness. So ability to also not only bring in suddenness in life, but dealing with suddenness as well. So increasing your overall resilience quotient, that's being there. Some of the decisions that you have taken in the past,
Mhm.
which has made you maybe a better person, or the change that has come in, how you could continue to sustain those decisions. Okay, there. And of course, seventh from the ninth house, which is the third house. Okay,
Yes.
which by default represents change. So anything that triggers change is either third from your lagna, third from your moon, third from your sun. Okay, some of these elements. And there's also one of the upachaya bhavas, so a factor of growth. So some decisions that you could take which are linked to your overall growth, your professional growth, your personal growth, and maybe it will make you work 5 times more than you would
More.
have been working in the last few months. So that is on the brighter side. The downward effect is that it would bring in a continuous stress, and that's something which, at the natural level, people should deal with in the current times.
Yeah.
But yes, it is bringing that power of labor,
Uh-huh.
okay, into your higher learning, in terms of dealing with change,
Mhm.
and also triggering your ability to grow.
Yes, yes. And it is rather a very, very, I would say, lesson learning time because
Mhm,
Saturn in the ninth house delays things for you, right? And also, it tends to give you a major, because the ninth house is about higher learning, it will always try to teach you from the
mhm,
hard,
mhm,
not the easy way, but the hard way. So this retrograde might make things done for you in this time, in this 139 days. But of course, it will make you learn something a difficult way.
mhm,
That is one thing that Gemini people might also feel. And also, the activation of eighth house is there,
mhm,
right? The third house is there. There's a lot of efforts, there's a lot of courage that these people should actually have. But one thing which is it is going to do is it is going to bless their in-laws. If someone is married, it
mhm,
can be a blessing for the in-laws because it is activating the eighth house also and ninth house also. It's second from the eighth. So
mhm.
gains of the in-laws family. So it's
Right.
like, and also the gain would be a very transformative one and very abrupt one because
Mhm,
the house of sudden changes, that Lord is going into the ninth house,
mhm,
right? So it could be sudden changes for the father also, sudden expenses over father, or sudden expenses in the case of father's life also.
mhm,
So that
mhm.
is
Yes.
also some predictions that I would like to mention here. So what
Right.
about Cancer ascendants or moon sign?
Yeah, see, Cancer ascendant, it becomes the seventh and the eighth lord,
Yes.
lauding your marriage partnership and also the longevity part. So Saturn going retrograde in the eighth house. So primarily, Saturn is the significator of the eighth house.
Yes.
And based on the other principle, it is also creating a Viparit yoga in transit, being
Yes.
the eighth
Yeah.
lord in the eighth house.
And there it comes.
And from a retrograde motion, your relationship, partnership, marriage. So that is the kind of test which you need to,
Mhm.
deliver, and of course, pass through with flying colors as well, hopefully, in
Yes.
the next 2 months. Okay. So this is the need of the hour,
Mhm.
to being wary of your expenditure, to be cautious about your savings, and also creating a new opportunity or a new source of income. So it could be secondary, it could also give you a rise in your income. And again, suddenness will play a very vital and an important role
Yes.
there. Okay, because the significator is there. It is a Viparita yoga. You might be at your low, but eventually it will help you rise.
Right.
and financial prosperity
Yeah.
is what I would say. What do you think?
Yes, definitely it is there.
Yes.
So I think this is something their partner can experience because
Mm,
of the Capricorn falling into the seventh house. But definitely, I think, you know, eighth house Saturn is also considered as a Dhaya period. The two
mm,
and a half period years of transit of Saturn through some crucial houses. So I think there can be some complications around eighth house is also about inheritance. It's about
mm,
real estate. There can be a significant event that is going to happen in regards to joint assets for a
mm,
Cancer ascendant. So either there is going to be a inheritance issue that is going to resurface because this is very, very popular within India that there is always the division of inheritance happening and then some cases on inheritance happening or something or the other. People
mm,
have their issues or regarding to the eighth house matters. So I feel that if suppose there was some money which was expected earlier and it was getting so much delayed. Since the second house is getting activated, eighth house is getting activated, previous seventh house is getting activated. So there can be some resurface of inheritance issue just to get solved. Because
mm,
Saturn retrograde, it's like very contradict to its delay motion.
mhm,
Somehow it will make things fast forward for you. So there
mhm,
can be a solution to that
mhm,
particular problem. And
mhm,
also it talks about finances also. There's going to be financial growth, but after a major
mm,
upheaval,
mm,
right? So I think most of all, it is considered for a Cancer ascendant, it is most of all considered about the finances and assets related things.
mm, mhm.
So what
Right.
about Leo? I think that's most of all for Leo people, it's most of all about relationships,
Mm,
right?
absolutely.
Karma with other people. Because
Yes.
Saturn is going retrograde in the seventh house.
Mm,
And I have seen whenever a retrograde planet is there in the seventh house, there's always a loop that you go on with someone. It
mm,
could be multiple people, it could be one person, because there's some karma which has to go on in a loop so as to finish. So
mm,
there can be reinteractions
mm,
or some things can resurface. Since sixth house is about competitors, it's about competition, competitors, it's
mhm,
about your enemies.
mhm,
So there can be, or it is also about the conflict within the marriage.
mm,
There is a conflict or there's some enemy that
mhm.
you have just left because that might not have passed your eyesight. You
Right.
might not have seen that maybe in the
Right.
previous transit. So now I think they have to take care of that. They have to
Mhm,
take care of some dispute that can be through the marriage or the partner is going to get involved within that dispute.
mhm,
And also, there's some enemy, there's some competition they have to deal with again. And basically, I feel that for Leo ascendants or Leo signs, they are going to be their own savior this time.
mm, mhm.
Because the support, because the seventh aspect of Saturn is the support giver.
Yes.
So seventh aspect is actually on the first house. So you
Yes.
are going to support yourself. That is
Yes.
about the Leo ascendants.
Yes, absolutely. So you are the one who will support yourself. You are the one who will work towards your relationship.
Yes.
You're the one who would work towards competing, and of course, looking at the competition as well, which we also see from the sixth house and how you come out and emerge
Yeah.
victorious as far as competition is concerned. See, Saturn gains directional strength in the seventh house, so there are also the blessings of the Devta,
Yeah.
here, without a doubt. This particular transit and seventh house is also named. So there's a name that is also given in Brihadarashtra Shastra, which is called Jaya Bhava. So it is the house of peace and it is also the house of war. Okay. So
Yes.
two
Yes.
extremes of the seventh house because it is everything opposite to who I am. These are people, my spouse, my agreements, the outer world of people, things, and events. So this will keep Leo ascendants very busy with events, with things, with managing other conflicts, managing your relationship conflicts as well, but managing the conflicts of other people as well. There could be people in your family, there could be your friend circle. So you might become like a relationship advisor, but at the same time, you have to take care of your
Yeah.
own conflicts as well.
Mhm.
Do not
Yeah.
forget. That is what I say about Leo ascendants during this transit. What do you think about Virgo ascendants? Here, Saturn
So,
will.
Virgo people, this is actually in the fifth and the sixth.
Mm-hmm,
Again, it's like, for Virgo people, I feel that definitely they have to use their intelligence so as to work around within their work environment, also with their conflicts and also with their debts. There is going to be repay for debts for Virgo, because one funny thing for Virgo ascendants is that they are always surrounded by money matters in their life.
mm-hmm,
That's
mm-hmm,
because it's the natural sixth house,
mm-hmm,
right? One thing is that they have to be considerate about their health at this point of time, because fifth and sixth, both of the houses are getting activated. And also the 12th house, remember, that is the house of hospitals. You might have to pay a visit there. So,
mm-hmm,
very, very important for Virgo people to be careful with their digestive system, first of
mm-hmm,
all. Then
mm-hmm,
there could be a sudden change or a sudden gain from some investment. There
mm-hmm.
is some karma related to the fifth house. Fifth house is of children also. It is
Yeah.
the house of speculation, investments. It is the Purva Punya Bhava, the good deeds that you have done, the good karma that you have carried forward. So definitely I think it is a good and a bad period for Virgo
Mm.
ascendants. There are so many things that they need to be careful of. Along with that, they are going to also get some some fruits which was not given before for their good past deeds, which is now going to resurface. So I think the competition part, the money part, the debt part, that is going to come into place, and the result out of it is actually going to be good for them. Of course, it depends on what Mahadasha they are going around and what all is happening, but definitely they need to be at selfless service, because Ketu is also in the ascendant for them. There
Yes.
have to be selfless service for them.
There
So,
is selfless service, and there's also spirituality that should come very naturally to
coming to
these people
this.
because the ascendant has Ketu, Saturn's aspect in the 12th house.
And I feel that howsoever clever, howsoever intelligent, howsoever diplomatic a Virgo ascendant would have been in their life, for only these 139 days, or till the time, I would say, till the time Saturn is in the sixth house and Ketu is in the first, just ignore every wrongdoing that other people are doing to you, because they are going to do. The transits are that way, they are going to do. Just try to be the bigger person and do everything good for everyone.
Yes.
Mark my words, there are going to be so good events they are going to receive. They are going to so good results that this Saturn is going to give them. This Ketu is going to give them.
Yes. It's about time that I see that they should take control and charge of their things. So you have a little circle of your own control where focus on things which are in your control, and maybe do not put a blame on those things which are not in your control. You must understand and appreciate the fact that other people, their behavior, it is not in your control, and it will continue to act in a manner. How you respond to that, how you respond to other people, and how you react to a certain situation is something wherein you might need to take a bit of a proactive approach in
Yeah.
order to take charge of those things which are in your control for Virgo
Yeah.
ascendants.
Now, what about Libra ascendants?
Yes, so Libra ascendants, this is going in the fifth house here.
Yes.
Okay. The fifth house, Saturn is going retrograde. Saturn is a Yoga Karaka planet for Libra ascendants. So, one thing which Saturn will do during the transit is to make you step out of your comfort zone. So, if you were to progress in life, maybe take a bigger role or a responsibility. Because, see, there are two houses where we see Rajya or kingdom from, and king like progress. Fifth
Yes.
house and 10th house. These two are given very much importance. Now, Saturn, which is a kingmaker, is making a transit in a retrograde motion in the fifth house itself. It has some effect on the fourth house, which makes you go out of your comfort zone. Why? Because if you were to take a bigger role, you will have to do a lot. You will have to work a lot. And then it is making an aspect in the 11th, which we talk about the opposite house signification as well. So your gains and the living in the material world of success is also quite inevitable during this time. So I consider this as a good transit, but this will come with a lot of stress. This
Yes.
will come with a lot of pressure. This will come with a lot of stress. And you might come across a situation wherein you might face some workplace politics as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Authoritative issues,
Yeah.
issues related to government, issues related to authority, right? So this is something which you have to deal with. So if you deal with this, then success is inevitable during
Yeah.
this transit.
Yes. And I also see that for this time, Libra people are actually going to be very focused. Because
Mm,
previously, when Saturn was in the sign of Capricorn, they developed a sense of coldness towards unnecessary things. Because, Libra people always want to are very much affected by their surroundings and also, especially from their relationships. So, with Saturn, they have now stabilized their emotions. So it is for some time in this retrogression, they are going to still feel that coldness within them. But that coldness is actually the part of being practical towards
mm,
scenario. So they will now have a clear mind
mhm.
towards everything in their surroundings. So they'll be able to, I think, match with all of these complications they are going to feel, and they are going to get out very gracefully out of it.
Right, right. Absolutely. Brilliant point. What about Scorpios, Scorpio ascendant?
I think for Scorpio people, this is again, I discussed when Saturn comes into the fourth house, right? It makes you go cold on emotions. And especially, it gets affected for people who, with the signs who are sensitive in nature. So for this time, I do see that Scorpio people, they are going to have a very practical approach towards emotions.
Mm,
They might not be very sensitive or sensitive on any and every minute thing anymore, because this Saturn is going to work first of all for their stability. It is in the fourth house, but with stability with their efforts, with their skills, because the previous house is the third house. And this stability is very much required for their home environment and also for their career, because the 10th house is the house of career and it is aspecting it. There is going to be support from public in general, but there is some karma related to younger siblings. So
mm,
as to deal with the younger siblings, or so deal with the neighbors, they have to ask for the support of public, ask of the support of some strangers.
mm.
Right. But of course, this time is very transformative for these people.
Right.
Very transformative, because fourth house Saturn is also a very heavier placement on your
Mm.
personal space, on your heart.
Yes. So they need to enhance and have the courage to reach out to other people, and there is no harm in taking support. One must remember, because
Yes.
towards the end, their mental peace and
Yes.
comfort is of the utmost importance, and that's how it should be. So do not hesitate to reach out to people. Have the courage to speak up.
But
This.
this is actually the thing. When Saturn comes into the fourth house, you become very protective of your emotions. You become very protective of your personal space. So you do not have that courage to be expressive in front of other people. So that is what they need to work on now. But they will find the hardest time actually to
Mm,
reach out to people,
mhm, mhm.
because Jupiter is also in the seventh right now for them.
Right,
And
right.
it is also giving a lot of heaviness, a lot of restrictions, and some sort of, although it is giving blessings to the ascendant, but there's
Mhm.
a lot of responsibility towards other people and towards the seventh house. So for this time, these people actually will act very sacrificial.
Yes, yes, absolutely. That is going to be there. How about Sagittarius ascendant? This is happening in the third house, second and third lord.
Yes, so I think it's actually all about your efforts. You are going to second house, it is affecting the second house. So second house is about income. First of
Mhm.
all, you have to make efforts towards your income, you towards your finances, and especially towards your family.
Mm.
Is something, there's some responsibility, significant responsibility or significant karma that you are bound to pay off towards your family. And for that, you have to be very disciplined and ethical, because
Mm.
it is also activating the ninth house. Your
Yes.
fortune is going to get affected based on your actions.
Mm.
So if your actions are very much aligned towards helping others, towards putting on courage, putting on efforts towards everything in your life right now, then only your fortune will rise.
Mm.
Otherwise, it would feel stagnant.
Mm. Yes, absolutely. That is, a very good message here. And most importantly, Saturn being a natural malefic as far as the nature is concerned, in third house, malefic
But
planet do really, really well. 3, 6, 10, 11, Upachaya bhavas, which is the houses and aspects of growth, where they do well. One of the things which is again primary importance is to look at. So it is the start of a journey as well, because this is the 3-9 axis. So
yes,
wherever the 3-9 axis is involved, it will begin or make you go on a journey. Now, this journey
yeah,
doesn't necessarily mean that you will travel. You could go on a long
yeah,
distance or a short journey as well, but this is initiation of something new, starting
yeah,
something new as a project or a work or a
yeah.
venture that you might want to establish during this time.
It is going to be about work also, because there's Rahu and Ketu in the fourth and tenth axis.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. So that is pretty much involved. So look forward to this journey here. Let's
yeah,
talk about Capricorn ascendants here. Saturn making a retrograde transit in the second house.
uh-huh.
Lagna Lord and second house Lord making a transit there. So of course there's a lot of heaviness which is going to come in yourself as an ascendant itself,
Self
in terms
transformation.
of transformation, looking at decisions that you have taken in the past which have had a personal impact on you, some
Yeah,
mistakes that you've made, which has led to some financial challenges or crises, or instability or a disturbing environment in the household or within the
yes,
family. I think one of the things which I have seen, very prominently, because Capricorn ascendants have had some challenging transits in the recent, times, particularly if it's related to finances. So one thing that Saturn's retrograde transit will teach Capricorn ascendants is financial management. So this is the time to take those corrective actions and
exactly.
corrective steps here, in order to take care of your finances. And at the same time, this will help you evolve, transform, because the eighth house is involved as well. Transform for good. The ability to cope up with some suddenness in life. So
Yeah.
this is where you would need to demonstrate resilience, through this transit. And Saturn somehow through retrograde might again make you a cold individual as well, through
Definitely,
transit.
definitely, that is the point. That
Yeah.
that actually the retrogression of Saturn in the second house, it gives a lot of practical mindset to an individual, and very practical speech also. You can be very crucial with your speech, but that is going to be very on point, truthful. That's going.
Yes, it will give you depth in your speech.
Yeah. And it's like you are going to shut people down for their own sake, not for
Yes,
any selfish purpose, but for their own sake, because it's like you are going to tell them this is the vision, this is the goal, work for it, do not deviate. So they can be excellent
yes,
advisors at this point also.
absolutely. Because the 2-8 axis is involved, so a lot of people will come to you for advices. And those who are in the business of advisory consulting, this is
Yes.
a gem of a transit. For those people, they can make a lot of money,
Yeah.
wealth during this transit if they're in the
And
business of consulting.
finances seem very good to me for Capricorn ascendants.
Mhm. What do you think about Aquarius ascendants, happening in the first house ascendant itself going
That's
retrograde?
that's in the first house. It's like they are going to feel the pressure again, because Saturn in the 12th first creates the pressure. It's like Saturn is coming into the room and it is setting up his bed, setting up his desk. And
Mhm.
okay, so it's like the initiation of everything. It's the
Mhm.
initiation of the pressure, that because I consider the Sadesati according to the Lagna also, because that is
Mhm.
also very much effective.
Correct.
All not emotionally burdening, but circumstantially it is very burdening. So there's going to be some expense, some sudden expense that they might have to incur, or they might just start feeling that pressure of expense or responsibility towards other person,
Mhm.
especially I think towards the marriage.
Mm,
right? Another thing is this is a very transformative time in regards of their personality. So their
mm,
personality is going to transform right now, and they have to retrospect their spirituality as a part of their personality, and they have to align both of those things within a part of their personality. And of course, they are going to get criticized, and they are going to be the one who are going to be very judgmental and criticizing. But yes,
mm,
they are going to be subject to a lot of criticism from their surroundings, but they are going to, you know, do everything in their power to go beyond it and to
mm, mm.
try.
So it is like the time when you need to, act like a deaf person and
Yes,
do not hear any negative comments or judgment of other people, because you could be really, susceptible towards the negative influence of other people. And that's
exactly,
something you have to be cautious of. Do
exactly.
what you feel is right. Towards the end, you listen to everyone. Do not
Yes,
take them seriously,
yes,
and take your own judgment and trust your own instincts and judgment as well. I think one of the things which Saturn does the easy way or the hard way in the ascendant, then thankfully this is in its Mool Trikon sign. Okay, it goes man karak, but it makes you very disciplined. It
yes,
will push you towards becoming organized, becoming disciplined, taking care of your time, respecting the time, and of course things which are around you. If you do not do it by your will, you're going to learn the hard way. So
yes,
it is time for you to really think whether you're going to transform change at your own will and take the corrective path, or wait for Saturn to really come with a stick to
yes,
make a corrective step for you or an action. So that is really there. It is an opportunity to for personal transformation as well. Those who are looking forward to
yes,
maybe transforming their body, right, overall. So it's not only about maybe losing weight or gaining weight, but it's about overall transformation and the well-being. So this could be a potentially of course, time to think through and plan accordingly. Pisces, the last ones, it's happening in the
12th house. It's
house.
the pressure building up,
The
But
pressure is building up.
of course, rather because of this retrogression, I think they might feel a little bit of relieved because of this pressure. This pressure is going to come around again when it goes direct. But right now, it's actually the 11th house they have to deal with. There can be some some opportunities that just passed away, from them, just it just went away from their hands, which are going to resurface.
Hmm.
These opportunities can actually give them a little bit of hope towards their coming time period. So I feel this transit is going to have a mix and match of things, because I remember when I did the transit video for Saturn for Pisces individuals, I remember that the Muhurta chart of the transit was actually the Pisces ascendant,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the significant uh, ascendant that was playing out at that point of time. So these people definitely have to deal with the 12th house matters very intensely. There's going to be pressure, there's going to be expenses they have to deal with, and also they have to deal with their health
Mm-hmm.
specifically. So the pressure of finances will be relieved for some time, but the pressure of health is going to be there, because somehow these people are going to be workaholic towards their
Yes.
career.
Yes.
They're going to do so many things all at once that they have to just, someone has to tell them to just stop for a little bit and rest.
Yes.
Because 11th
Absolutely.
house and sixth house, both of them are getting activated.
So this could be a situation for a Pisces ascendant, like, a manager asks you to take up additional projects and you
Yes.
took it up, without being assertive. Okay, now start working in a different location. Oh, if you're moving into a different country, we'll incentivize you. But that brings in more pressure, more work routine, and you're taking everything, at yourself, which could have an impact and a detrimental effect on your health and well-being. And that is something which you have to be mindful of. It is
Exactly.
about time to build assertiveness and the ability to say a no when it is not working out. If you think that you're not able to stay up to date as far as the commitment is concerned, and if you're in a position wherein you can't fulfill, if you take this up, it will have an impact on your family life, on your personal life, on your health and well-being. So it is time to think about and learn how you need to put your foot down in certain
Exactly.
matters have great interest for you. Because at a spiritual level, this is going to be good. There is a ray of light that is there towards the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
It is important that how you get there. The
Yes.
closer you get, it will be more brighter for you. And this is something which is the key message, that Saturn is giving you. Slow down,
Yeah.
right? Do not rush. Okay, take a pause,
Right.
take a break.
Right. Because they're already going through their Saraswati period also. So it's like double an effect that these people are going to feel. So I think for Pisces individuals, there's a lot of events that are going to come around with this. Negative, positive, both.
Absolutely. Great.
So
Okay,
I
let's do
think
the
that's all the information we had to give to the audience.
was all the information that we had to give to the audience. We hope that you liked our first collaboration. Please share with us your comments, and we'll continue to make more videos and keep the concepts very simple for you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
perfect.